Hello and welcome back to AJM Learn. Today, going to show you one of the most requested features in Squarespace, which is a vertical divider line. Still not an option in the built-in editor, but let's hack it a little bit with CSS and just a little trick. There are tons of different options out there that different Squarespacers have figured out. So this is just my favorite approach. Feel free to Google around, see some others, and let's get into it. So let me actually get rid of this code. I already was playing around with it. So in your editor, go ahead and set up your section where you would want the divider line. So I have this girl shopping for chips. I don't know why, just what I placed in here from stock. So have your section laid out, and then you need to add a shape block. So the left edge of that shape block, that left line, will be your line. So wherever this lays on the right side doesn't really matter. You can make it full width or whatever, it doesn't matter. This left line is where your line will be. So the height should match how tall you want it to be. Just imagine this left line is the line because it will be. Within that shape block, go ahead and get rid of any background fill. So like select one of your colors, turn the transparency all the way down. So you shouldn't be able to see it. I also like to send it to the back just for best practices. So it's not actually over the photo. Okay. Now let's paste in this code directly from the video description, also in the blog. So what's going to be happening here? Nothing's happening yet. We have to find the block ID, but essentially we are adding a border, like a stroke, to just that left edge. So that's why I say imagine that left edge is your line, because it will be. And this margin, let me get rid of it for now, and I'll show you what happens. So let's grab the block ID. I use my Squarespace ID Finder Chrome extension. So grab it there and replace this. So you'll see that border comes in. You can, of course, change the thickness of the line as much as you want. You can change the text code here. You can even change solid to something like dotted. So you can play around with the way your line looks. What you'll probably notice is that the line is slightly off center. That is because that's where the edge of the shape block lies based on, the grid. There is that little space between the grid. You can play around with your grid if you want. Let me go in here. You can, within your editing the section itself, you can play around with the gap in the grid and just get rid of the gap in the grid. That solves the problem as well. So if you don't want to deal with any other CSS, get rid of the gap there in the grid. If you want to keep this standard, I'll show you how to fix it with CSS. So really, really simple. All you're going to need to do is put in a bit of margin. So how I like to do it is just do a margin left. -5 pixels seems to work nicely. Essentially, you're just moving that line a bit to the left, like giving it a negative margin, sending it to the left. And that seems to work nicely. As a designer, I've been sitting here for like so long, being like, is it 5 pixels or 6 pixels? Whatever hits the middle for you is correct. And you can play around with that as much as you need. So those are two options for getting your line in the center. And the next thing is going to be on mobile. This is not mobile optimized at all, but you can just, if you want, I do this when I'm lazy sometimes. You can like move the line behind the photo, move it to the back. No issue there. I think that's totally fine if you want to just hide the line on mobile. If you don't have that ability or you really want to just do this the right way, you can also do it with CSS. So to apply this only to desktop, you just need to throw in this other little bit of code that basically says, only apply this to screens that are a minimum of this size. Paste that in. You need another set of curly brackets, and you'll see nothing changes here on desktop. But when we go to mobile, it is, of course, still there because why wouldn't it be? Let's refresh and see what happens. There we go. So yeah, if CSS ever doesn't take, just refresh the page. Sometimes it does take a little bit of a refresh. And that is it for the vertical line. I'll also tag in the post, in the blog post, I have an entire post on how to style your line so you can get some more CSS for that as well. Okay, make sure to subscribe if you like our videos, guys. Thank you for watching.